Cars are rolling on track. 50 minutes to get it dialed in for tomorrow afternoon's third race of the year when it comes to a 1.5 miles in the Xfinity Series. It'll be our 6th overall and starts a 5-week run before these clubs get another 2-week break. We go on board with Chase Briscoe out of Mitchell, Indiana, going to make his 2nd career start. And it was announced in the off weeks. We know he's running a number of races in the 60s, sharing time with Austin Cindric and Ty Majeski, also going to pilot the 98 for Stewart-Haas Racing in some upcoming events, Michael.
And, it's just great to see these young guys getting quality rides, great opportunities to go out and prove that they can make it in NASCAR. Briscoe obviously did a great job in the Truck Series. That has enabled him to get a ride here in the Xfinity, and he needs to take advantage of it. But I'll tell you, in the first practice, I was a bit surprised at him. He just didn't have a whole lot of speed. Neither did Austin Cindric. Those guys seemed to struggle for most of the practice session. Made a little bit of progress at the end, but see Jeremy Clemens sliding by on the inside there. Listen to how much difference, if we get to ride along this far, the throttle is as another car goes slipping by. Ty Dillon, hear him all the way out of the gas early into one. Really working that throttle and exit. Now conversely, he should be able to carry more speed down into 3. There's just more banking. Let's see how the car sounds down here. That was a solid corner there. That's what you're looking for.
Opening practice of the day, Matt Tipp spent a good portion of that time in the #1 position. And here he is once again, P1. Ty Dillon, his teammate, right behind him. Christopher Bell, Jamie McMurray, Brandon Jones, the top 5. Ross Chastain jumps up to 6th. Not really surprising to see that team have speed after what they delivered at Auto Club Speedway in Southern California just a few weeks ago.
Got to be some big smiles down there in that pit for Ross, JD Motorsports team. They made some progress. They built cars that are faster in 2018, and Chastain's taking advantage of that.
Just in front of Matt Tifft here, the 39 of Ryan Sieg, found out in the garage this morning. That team, Sieg Racing, getting some help from Mike Ford, veteran crew chief, who had been doing work over at GMS, so he should help that program. Cowboy, Starlin, and the others who have worked so hard to make them valid and competitive in the Xfinity Series. And I don't know that I'd make him a favorite. He certainly was good in that first practice, top 5, but it's hard to argue against Ryan Blaney, runner-up in both races here last year.
I'm not going to argue against him. I might even argue for him. I think that he's going to be the car that you're probably going to have to beat tomorrow, and that says a lot with a guy like Kevin Harvick in this race. But Blaney and that 22 team, that whoever you put behind the wheel, the quality drivers they put behind it are going to deliver.
On board with Kevin Harvick. Said he's looking for his 2nd victory of 2018. Pushed over the field at Atlanta Motor Speedway week 2. Went on to sweep the weekend. His 4-car had speed in that cup practice earlier today, so no doubt about it, he's quite capable of another sweep here at Texas.
Let's watch the miles per hour on Harvick down into turn 3. Near 185. You can hear him working the gas on entry. He should have more speed down into turn 1. See him working past 180 here. See if he can get up to 190. 188. Just look at the work in there, Adam. I mean, that's such a great view. Hear the car get a little bit free right there. Just such a great view of everything that goes in to putting a fast lap on the track here at Texas.
We said this in the earlier practice session. When they reconfigured this place a year ago, took a ton of banking out of turns 1 and 2, which made it 20 feet wider. So as a crew chief, the setup for 1 and 2, way different than 3 and 4, and the approach for driver dramatically different as well.
And just think, you hammer it through 3 and 4, and that means you've got more speed on the front, and you get down there to the flat turn 1 and 2, the flat earth turn 1 and 2, sure does get the driver's attention.
Blaney looks good.
Yeah, he let Harvick pulled over and let Blaney go by.
What are your early observations here in final practice, Regan?
Well, just something I thought was really interesting about Kevin Harvick, Adam. I asked him after or before this practice started how his car was. When he was telling me about his car and describing it, he said, honestly, the car's good. The driver's just got to catch up a little bit. And I said, Kevin, you're a champion. You win everything you sit in. What are you talking about? He said because of the lack of horsepower in these cars on this racetrack, he's got to drive it quite a bit differently than the Cup car, and he had to readjust to it. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Here's a multi-time winner and a champion saying he had to catch up to his car a little bit.
And his resume at this place is incredible. 5 career wins in the Xfinity Series, which we've talked about. Had that Cup win here in November, so he knows how to get around this place in the current configuration. Also won here in the Camping World Truck Series many years ago.
That last time by, he ran his fastest lap of this session at over 182 miles an hour, and that means he's getting more and more of a feel for this car. He talked about his challenges, things that were making it difficult for him to get everything out of the car. Every lap a champion driver like Kevin Harvick makes, he'll learn more and more, go faster and faster again, just setting his fastest lap of the session that time by.
I said late in that early session, we had not mentioned the name Justin Allgaier. He ultimately ended up inside the top 10 in that first hour workout here at Texas, and right now is third behind Blaney and Tift. And you would expect good things out of him. He delivered at Phoenix. That's not surprising because he typically is good there, but also had nice runs at Las Vegas and California, tracks that traditionally haven't been as good for Justin Allgaier, a sign of where he is. And I think, coming off the best year in his career, I think the potential,
instead of passing this guy right here.
I think the potential is there for him to go out and win a championship in 2018.
I couldn't agree more. And when we find him down in the garage area, always a big smile on his face, very confident about what he and that team are doing. Everywhere we go, a lot of speed. This could be a guy you got to beat to win the championship.
And tomorrow we're qualifying for the first round of the Dash for Cash at Bristol. He won a couple of $100,000 through that program last year.